Good morning, everyone. This is Eric Langkamp, also known as Tricky Hunter. For once, I'm filming in the day, as you can see. Um, I've got an update here. I don't have the patch yet, but I made some serious progress. Finally have damage applying and the stuff reflecting the way it should. I've got a whole series of things to complete. Still, some of that is the repair systems, rearm, and ejection system. Those are rather important, and then some minor little details when it comes to limiting the number of mechs you can have in your stable at a time, uh, getting rid of mechs, and declaring when they're actually fully gone. When during the first part, I might not have the full destruction, uh, so that's information to follow. So let's get straight into it here. So here you'll see, just a second here, there we go. So as usual, we'll start off here. And thanks to Fang, he provided us a light mech that I will be handing out for free to everybody who is a Patreon sub. Oop, there we go. To everyone who's a Patreon sub. And so the Magpie here is going to be the free mech that's handed out for testing purposes. This will be an 800,000 Imperial mech, which I can show you in the market right here. So there she is. I've got to add some commas and stuff to make that more easily readable. Okay, so one of the things you'll notice is that the pilot still has no statistics. That's not a big deal right now. It's still the 2-2 pilots, and you're not responsible for the upkeep of them or anything like that. But the mechs, you will be. So let's go ahead and get this puppy into a fight, and so you'll see I've got two magpies here, this one and this one. This one here is actually unarmed. That was a matter of a glitch. So I'll go ahead and get that in. No glitches right now. So we'll throw it in an AI fight because that's how I'm testing these things. Alright. So let's go ahead and move them forwards. And you'll see there's a couple of glitches still with the model, like he's walking in air. That shouldn't be the case. You see the jet stream coming out of the bottom. You'll also see that these are not the custom designed mech models yet. Got a ways to go for that. Mostly you can blame my artist Jason, but it's also a matter of a little bit of laziness on my part. Uh-oh. Got a glitch here with ammo. Whoa, did I take a hit already? I took a hit already. So you'll notice here that the medium lasers were knocked out already because the right torso was hit, and then it caused a whole series of damage. The right torso and right arm have been knocked out, and that's where the medium lasers were. So I only have the SRM-2, which I'll return fire on. And you'll see we're doing damage. Before I was having issues because damage wasn't being applied, and as it turned out, that was all due to the fact that the data was wiped out for damage, apparently. And we'll hold still, and he was knocked out. So damage will have been applied here, and we'll go ahead and return. And we'll pull up the stable, and you'll see that there's a whole series of damage here, including the medium lasers being knocked out, and you'll see a series of damaged items here. So those are all things that need to be applied, but you'll see there's a thing that I still need to fix, and that's the final blow that was done to the mech was not applied here. So that still needs to be fixed. But once we close down, should see the damage still being attributed to the mech. So there you go. We have damageable, ownable mechs for the first time. Like I said, repairs have to be put in, and the ejection system has to be put in before we can really call it good. And on top of that, we need to have some way of limiting how much battle value or what type of mechs are facing off against each other. Because at this point, you notice that my Magpie was wiped out in like 2 hits, which isn't exactly cool. Mainly because it's going up against mediums and heavies with like pulse lasers and, you know, LRM 20s and PPCs and things like that. So, any questions, feel free to get in touch. I'm going to be taking off here in a little bit to do a family vacation for Labor Day, but I'll be picking it back up here Monday evening, Tuesday. And I'm also going to try and tackle a few things, but I wanted to be able to get this out to you as quick as possible so that you could all see what the whole thing was about and what I've been tackling. Unfortunately, I lost about 4 or 5 days of effort here while I was off work for 2 weeks due to some serious server glitches that had occurred. The entire server had crashed and ended up needing to be fully rebuilt, which wasn't cool at all. I spent at least 2 days just trying to recover the initial stuff, and it just wasn't doing it. So I ended up having to rebuild the entire thing. Good news is, if it ever happens again, I have a procedure for being able to bring it back up. And on top of that, none of the data was wiped out of the database. So that's a silver lining, just a little bit there. So if it turns out that, you know, shit hits the fan with the server at some point while we have, you know, empires up, we won't have to worry so much about you guys losing your progress. What we'll have to worry about is the game being down for probably 2 to 3 days. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll be able to speed up that process, but you never know. And so yeah, if you have any questions, again, feel free to get in touch via Discord or Facebook. I'll have posted this up by then. You guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you next week.